Golden Corners. Okay, today on the show, we take a look at this very interesting and expose that happened allegedly. Of course, it's an allegation for now that the media aid to WIKE in the person of Lere Olayinka went straight into INEC server. An allegation, of course. Brought out Emeka Ike's personal data, which is private data that only INEC, authorized ICT INEC staff can have access to, or can at least access, just to verify. There are so many implications to this particular move heading towards the 2027 election. Now, the issue of INEC integrity has been brought to the limelight, and this has been causing a lot of issues. So today, we will discuss about that, and I will give you more details, implications of this kind of act, and how did Larry get hold of Emeka Ike's own personal data saved at the back end of INEC servers. All right, while we wait for that particular issues to be dusted, INEC itself has not said a thing. They have not accepted whether their servers were breached or if the information was leaked by their own staff. So, but it is out there on X, where the banter has been going on. In order to win an online argument, remember, media aids are there to counter whatever your opponents are doing. So this one was countering the NDC, trying to win an online argument, while Emeka Ike moved his own. They wanted to show that NDC, that is Peter Obi's party, are hypocrites, that they say a lot of things, they criticize and do the same thing others were doing, that Emeka Ike was not supposed to even be in Abuja contesting and all that, not to talk of that, because his primary place of voting and residence is Imo State, where he registered. But unfortunately, he has moved all his details, which is legal because you can transfer your own from state to state. Okay, maybe you were in Imo State when the registration was done, but now you're in Abuja and you want to move to the next one. It is that particular matter that Emeka Ike did. There's nothing wrong with that. But later, in order to try and win that argument, decided to rubbish Emeka Ike, Nollywood actor Emeka Ike, come politician, who is not the first time he's venturing into politics. But then what really happened, he posted the data of transfer from Imo State to INEC to Abuja. And when critical look was taken on that particular post, what happened? They saw the URL link that shows INEC back-end server, which is supposed to be protected. Only ICT authorized staff of INEC can have access to that particular data. Now, the big question is, how did Lere Olayinka, WIKE's media aid, got access to such a data from INEC? Then it also brings to question, if he has access, can he now access the voter registration, do some changes, and inflate numbers or reduce numbers of various political parties? There are so many indications and implications of this particular move. So this morning, we want to bring you details of that. And I want to hear from you what you make of this development. Is INEC actually ready for this election? In the sense that it may suggest a problem requiring explanation, INEC has kept quiet. While Nigerians are calling for investigation, the DSS have been called to investigate this. But up to now, no formal investigation has commenced on this matter. Why are they keeping quiet? Why is INEC not reacting to this? Why is the DSS not doing anything about it? These are questions that Nigerians have been asking. Social media don't catch fire. And today we bring you that particular story. So everybody, what is your own take on this? So how can a political appointee have access to INEC backend? The backend is only controlled by people who have access, and access granted It was also shared that it wasn't hacked. It was they now tried to, according to experts who tried to use the URL to put, it was demanding a password. It was demanding credentials that they need before they enter into the URL account link. So at the end of the day, how did Larry got that information? Was it given to him by an INEC staff whom he can call? So if INEC staff are now at the beck and call of politicians, how on earth do we trust anything coming from INEC? So this is the danger of this particular story. So everybody, gather around the table. Let's have a go on this. All right? So that's going to be our major source of conversation. If you watch, almost 1 hour of our time has been used. But before we go, let's take one or two headlines that will also help us to widen our conversation. Start with Oyo. In Oyo State and the Punch newspaper, school abduction, protest in Oyo, Ogun, as NUT begins nationwide rally today. Oyo State and Ogun State are now going on a strike for the teachers in captivity and the pupils, and this is student pupils, that's primary school and nursery school pupils, are in the bush, held for over 16 to 17 days now. Well, the president has since ordered recruitment of 1,000 forest guards to guard that area, but that is medicine after death. So it has become a very, very big issue. Okay, then we also have a report coming from Iran and USA that talks have broken down completely. They have all pulled out and the bombardment is going to go back. So that war is not coming down anytime soon. Everybody is now waiting to see what they will do. Well, Donald Trump yesterday in a phone call interview said that he felt that Iran has been delaying and tactically wasting their time in the name of negotiation. So right now, they're going back to the bombing and dropping. He said he's going to wipe them on the surface of the earth. Let's see how that happens, but definitely that is all it is there. So, okay, CBN redeploys 4 deputy governors in management shakeup in Nigeria. That's also on the Punch newspaper this morning. So, Aviation Minister orders probe after ex-senator's wife serially breached airport security. That is on the Premium Times newspaper. All eyes on lawmakers who lost party primaries as National Assembly resumes plenary today. Okay, all of them will lost primary. What do I want to do now? When I begin look them out, now when they go on thief all the money, when they go thief go, because they know they're not contesting. They are not coming back to the Senate or the Federal House of Rep. Then go back, hey, all the constituency project going on now. Woo! Man, they not give them any of constituency projects again, no, because they ain't doing nothing. They're just gonna take that money and get out with it. So, in Akwa Ibom, teachers join nationwide protests over Oyo abduction incident and shut down schools. It is happening, people. SSS explains Oke Idibe saga at Lagos Airport. That has also been going on. And gunmen kill 8 and injure 10 in fresh Plateau attack. These are all stories on the Premium Times. And again, let's see if we can get this from the Vanguard newspaper. On the Vanguard newspaper, protest rocks Oyo Ogun over abduction of students. Atiku, Babachir, Bika over outcome of ADC presidential primaries, and we are working to rescue kidnapped retired Major General Abubakar. Defense headquarters is saying, remember I told you about this story where former defense chief was kidnapped, him and the wife. Strike, NUPRC assures steady oil gas production. These are all the finally OB moves from ADC to NDC. Wise decision that is coming from Pat Utomi. All right, let's head on to our newsroom to bring you the news update at 10. And thereafter, we come back, we start up the conversation. Everybody, don't go nowhere. We will be right back. It's the Update at 10. Here are the latest stories we are keeping tabs on. The federal government has directed all ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, to discontinue the practice of placing civil servants on a mandatory 3-month pre-retirement leave. The government consequently directed all MDAs to ensure strict compliance with the clarification, noting that retiring officers should remain at their duty post until the official exit dates while completing all retirement and pension-related documentation. After spending 36 days in captivity, 6 school children, their driver, and 2 others abducted by suspected bandits on the Akwando Kachia Road in Kaduna State have regained their freedom. The spokesperson of the Kuturmi Unity Development Association, KUDA, Mr. Manasseh Samuel, who confirmed the development, expressed delight to groups and individuals who offered prayers and support towards securing the victims' release. The Police Service Commission has dismissed the purported shortlist of candidates for medical examination circulating on social media, describing it as fake and unauthorized. The Commission, in a statement signed by its head of Protocol and Public Affairs, Ikechukwu Ani, stated that no shortlist had been released for the next stage of the ongoing police recruitment exercise. The executive chairman of the Ipeju-Lekki local government area of Lagos State, Honorable Abdullahi Olowa, has issued a public security advisory urging residents to remain calm and desist from ethnic profiling or self-help over the influx of certain groups of persons into various communities, while encouraging residents to maintain a high level of vigilance and report suspicious movement to the police. The chairman warned against jungle justice, harassment, or unlawful profiling of the newcomers. Troops attached to Operation Hardin Kai have apprehended 2 individuals suspected to be members of the Islamic State West African Province ISWAP in Gombe, local government area of Adamawa State. The suspects are presently being held by the 247 Reconnaissance Battalion, while further investigations continue into their alleged activities in the region. And in business, the Federal Airport Authorities of Nigeria, Lagos State government health officials, and Port Health Services have strengthened measures to prevent the importation and spread of Ebola virus disease following a joint inspection of the airport's preparedness facilities. The inspection assessed the airport's readiness to detect, monitor, and respond to potential Ebola threats, particularly in light of recent developments surrounding the outbreak in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And in sports, Chelsea midfielder Moises Caicedo has been named in Ecuador's squad for the 2026 FIFA World Cup as the South American side prepare for the tournament in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. As reported, the 23-year-old is one of Ecuador's most important players and will feature at his 2nd consecutive World Cup, having also been part of the national team at the previous edition. And on the foreign scene, the Director General of the Nigeria Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dayo Mobere-Ola, has reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to strengthening regional maritime integration, cooperation, and capacity development across Africa. Mobere-Ola describes the engagement as a reflection of the long-standing relationship between Nigeria and Liberia, stressing that stronger collaboration among African nations is essential in advancing the blue economy. And that is all for the news update at 10, brought to you by our news desk here at Echo FM. For more information and inquiries, visit our social media platforms. On Facebook is Echo FM. On X is at Echo FM_Wari. On Instagram and YouTube, it's Echo FM 100.7. You can listen to us anywhere in the world by clicking on www.echofm.net. And that is the news update at 10. Thank you for listening. Please stay with us. All right, welcome back, everybody. It is Straight Talk Live on Echo FM 100.7. My name is Barry Cosmos of Radio Marshall. Well, we start off with the story here in Imo State, where a fiscal breach uncovered. Well, a report by Premium Times newspaper has uncovered some very startling revolution. A fiscal breach was uncovered. How Imo, under Governor Hope Uzodinma, spent 101.5 billion in unapproved funds. This report reveals this, while exposing a pattern of fiscal breaches that coincided with rising unemployment, underfunded schools, and neglected agricultural programs. That is how the report puts it. And I found it very interesting, so we decided to bring it up for you. At the end of the day, you can deduce what you want to deduce from this report by your own self. And let me get your take on that. Before we move on, missing items. Please listen to this missing item announcement. Mr. Stephen reported that he boarded a yellow tricycle known as Keke from Amalim Junction, Ikeduru LGA to Nkwoji on Monday, the 1st June, that is the first day of June, yesterday, 2026. He left behind a black cotton bag containing mobile phone and a power bank and cash. Please, if you are the driver or a passenger in that particular Keke bus, please, and you saw that bag, please contact the owner of that bag. The number on 0, I think you just have to contact Echo FM or can call 081 602 53 672. I take that again, 0816 025 3672. And that is a missing item announcement. Please, if you are in possession of that, be a very kind Nigerian and return that. Times are so hard for people to lose their property. So please do well to bring that up. You can call that number or come straight to Echo FM at number 4 at Joku Street here in Owerri City. All right, fiscal breach uncovered. Let's go to the story. Well, please join me live on Facebook or YouTube as we put these things on our screen. You can also join to read for yourself. Let's go together and take a look at what report was packaged by Premium Times. I'm quoting them now. It's not about where we got it from. So the figure drawn on official budget is that they spent 101.5 billion unapproved funds. What do they mean by unapproved? If a budget has been made for a ministry, you have to work within that budget. If there is going to be any extra money spent in the ministry, they have to go back to the State Assembly for an appropriation, and then they bring supplementary budget, and after that, they pass it into law, and then that money becomes illegal money for you to spend. But once that is not done and you spend the money, it is illegal and is a breach of fiscal policy. So with this now, has Imo State government been erring? This report covers from 2023 till date of 2025. That is 2 years period. We have spent 101.5 billion naira of Imo State money unapproved, unaccounted for. That is what they mean. Well, the figure drawn from official budget performance documents analyzed by Premium Times, it reveals a consistent pattern of extra budgetary spending between 2023 and 2025, raising questions about its legality and government priorities. Now, the big question is, while billions were spent without legislative approval, key sectors such as education, agriculture, and youth development remained underfunded. That is what the report says. In 2023, 36.94 billion was spent on unappropriated funds. In 2024, 22.54 billion was spent. In 2025, 42.06 billion last year was spent. And a 3-year pattern, a breakdown in the spending shows steady trend in 2023 and then to 2025. And these were done by various ministries of Imo State government. And the report captures these ministries. I'm going to quickly rush them down so we can get to the main story. In 2025, most recent, the budgetary spending exceeded about 4.206 billion across 26 government offices. All right, across 26 government offices. And then if you go on our screen now on Facebook, please join me live on Facebook. The personal cost balloons across ministries. In 2025, overspending began with personal costs, salaries, and related expenses across several government offices. The Office of the Head of Service, which is responsible for managing the state civil service, had a budget of 6.44 billion naira, but they ended up spending 8.3 billion naira, exceeding its allocation by 1.86 billion naira. What did they use the money for? That's the question. So questions are being raised. This is under Governor Hope Uzodinma's administration, and they are asking questions. Interestingly, institutions meant to guard against financial irregularities issue queries to erring offices where themselves caught in the pattern. That is how interesting it looks like. So you can see this report on our screen if you are following us on our social media, so you can also read for yourself. Please, let's put it up, the Office of the Auditor General for the state. This is the Auditor General that is supposed to audit other ministries in Imo State. What did they do? The government spending and oversight is supposed to be overseen by this. 878.2 million personal budget, they exceeded their own by 12.65 million. That is how much money they spend outside their own budget. This is the Auditor General's office, according to this report, if it's anything to go by. But I had to make it public for everybody to know. The Auditor General for the local government exceeded its personal allocation by 31.62 million spending. That is, they spent about 101.93 million as against a budget of 70.31 million naira. That is, these are auditors. So if people were supposed to audit the ministry are now overspending, how can they now audit the other ministries? Now, this is what we refer to brakatabra in the fiscal policy. Anyway, other agencies also breached their limits. That's the Local Government Service Commission, overspent by 23.76 million. While the Imo State Independent Electoral Commission exceeded its allocation by 3 million naira. Where did they spend? We get election, INEC. Nothing. For these 2 years, election not finished. What did they spend? Overspending by 3 million. Several ministries followed the same pattern. Of course, the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security exceeded its personal budget by 67.1 million naira, while the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation overspent by 26.78 million. The Ministry of Works and Infrastructure Development spent beyond its personal budget by 35.27 million naira, while the Ministry of Budget, Economic Planning and Statistics overspent by 43.04 million naira. These are all reports. You can get this on the Premium Times. It's there. Within the judiciary, the Judicial Service Commission recorded one of the largest deviations. Judiciary. The people suppose they protect the law. First, auditors. Now, the judiciary, their own, the biggest spending of 435.9 million naira as against a budget of 207.67 million, an excess of 227.27 million. Who spent this money and on what? There's a question. The Customary Court of Appeal overspent its personal budget by 179.47 million. The Ministry of Justice also recorded a significant breach, spending 892.3 million as against a budget of 554.57 million. Very funny. The Ministry of Youth Development and Talent Hunt also posted an expenditure that deviated from the budget. Its personal budget rose by 48.08 million to 190.6 million. That is nearly 200 million. They have an excess. The budget, imagine, just take this one, and they budgeted 48 million for the Ministry of Youth Development and Talent Hunt, but they spent 190 million point six. That is an excess of 142.52 million. Now, 142 million 502 million naira. That is exactly what they spent. 142 million 520 or 502,000. That's exactly. How can somebody spend a money, they budget 48 million, and then you spend extra 142? That is nearly double. How many? Is it double, triple, quadruple of the amount? That is only 42, 48, a difference of 6 million, plus another 100. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? If this report is anything to go by, what should be done? Other agencies that overspent include Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Welfare. That one, they spent 55.94 million. Ministry of Education, Primary and Secondary, excess of 57.62 million. Ministry of Environment and Sanitation, excess of 23.98 million naira. Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, excess of 7.69 million. And Imo State Sports Commission, spent an excess of 54.2 million. Putting all this money together, it gives you 101.5 billion naira. That is money spent without appropriation by the Imo State House of Assembly. Well, this report, I'm bringing it to the public so that whoever needs to do investigation, the Imo State House of Assembly members, for those of you clamoring to go there, this is what goes on. And if it's anything to go by, remember, this report is brought by the Premium Times newspaper. I just got it there. I read through it, and I'm bringing it to the public. So everybody, if this report is anything to go by, Mona see us. Did you spend government money? How can a ministry be allocated this amount and you spend extra? Especially that of sports, youths, talent hunt. I don't know which talent did they hunt. You spend 142 million extra. How can your budget be 48 million and you're spending 142 million extra? Who does that? And then the ministry, the auditor general that is supposed to audit, make sure this doesn't happen, is also doing the same thing. So who is checking who? Imolites. Oh yeah, I don't do now my work. The rest is left for you. Okay, let's move on now to the other story before I open up the phone line so that everybody can have their say on any of these issues. Okay. Today is expose. That's our job, and that's what we do. Well, the controversy between Nollywood actor Emeka Ike and Lere Olayinka, the media aide to the FCT minister Nyesom Wike, centers on an alleged breach of voter privacy. It erupted after Olayinka exposed Emeka Ike's private voter registration details on social media, where the incident unfolded with the following details. The trigger, Nollywood actor Emeka Ike announced his intention to contest for House of Representatives seat in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Abuja. What happened? Emeka Ike, the leak came down. Emeka Ike, to mock Emeka Ike's political ambition, when he's do caricature and all those craziness they do, where they always want to pull somebody down. Lere Olayinka shared screenshots of the actor's recent voter registration on X, that is formerly Twitter. The record revealed that Emeka Ike had recently transferred his voter registration from Imo State to the FCT. So that's what the backlash, the screen shared by Olayinka appeared to originate directly from a restricted back-end administrative portal belonging to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Yes. Yes, so when people see this, they say, we not go agree. Why would you do that? How come? How did you get this information? At the back-end server, administrative portal. What is administrative? You're supposed to know what it means. It's just like coming to Echo FM and get the back end of my orga or the back end of our management, and then you have all the information. Who give you? How did you get it? It's either one person here, now give you access, or they give you password to log in anytime you want to log out. Those are the two scenarios there. So the public reaction is now has raised major concerns over how her political aide obtained confidential administrative records meant only for INEC ICT officials. Nigerians and critics have since called for a full-scale investigation into data, privacy, and security vulnerabilities within INEC. Now, that brings me to the issue of cybercrime. When they made this law, they made it to catch people who were attacking politicians. But now, this one don't catch politicians. If truly this man access the private information of somebody, that is cybercrime in total. Confirmed cybercrime. And up to now, this man is still working free, still working for the FCT minister. No investigation. INEC have been mum, they have said nothing. The DSS, police, all of them are since for the past 48 hours this has been going on. Please, if you don't know who Lere is, look on our screen and you will see Larry. That is the media aide to WIKE. He's a political media aide. And at the end of his job is to make sure he goes after political opponents of WIKE or probably the APC or the PDP. Because we don't know the party WIKE there now, whether it's PDP, I've been an APC, I've been a PDAPC. We don't know which one is there. So at the end of the day, Larry decided to mock Emeka Ike. But now he has raised a big dust. INEC integrity. Is there any INEC integrity left? Is there anything INEC can tell us of how this man got private data that is only accessible by ICT accredited staff members who are allowed to have access? What does this mean? What are the implications? These people can log into INEC server. They can inflate figures. They can move people left, right, and center if they so desire. They can even erase registered voters. When you go there, you don't know, they don't see your name. They don't see your name for this. So, no, this is not your polling unit. You go here. Can you remember this thing happened during the 2023 election? In Imo State, a lot of people could not vote because when they went to their ward, they said, no, your name no day here. How did it happen? These are the ways this thing happened. Now it has been exposed. So what INEC, what you don't want Nigerians now? That's the question. Number two, should that man be arrested immediately and prosecuted? Number three, can we trust anything coming from INEC after this? Ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case. I want you to have your go, have your say on any of these stories we have shared. How? Say our INEC professor, our INEC professor of law, what do you have to tell us this time around? So we have two very important matters to deal with. The phone lines are officially open, 0911 20022 or 07074541014. Let's take calls. Good morning. Welcome aboard. Who my line? Hello? Are you serious? All right. Good morning. Who did it?
Senior Comrade Linus Duru. Imo State, Nigeria.
Welcome aboard.
My brother Barry, good morning this morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, two topics got up. They are all good to discuss.
Okay.
And I want to talk about the last one.
Okay.
So what am I saying now? What I'm saying is INEC supposed to have a password.
Yeah.
Which someone must use before he goes into their whatever they pile up for themselves. So if they make this password available to the public, or there's a way it reaches the public, you know now that the election next year may not be safe.
All right.
Anybody who is saying anything concerning the election next year, having seen all these things now happening, is just like want to dribble Nigerians. If you feel the election next year will be good, well organized, and then the good person will be brought up into the system to say he's a winner, forget about it. With what is happening now.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Who there?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Welcome aboard.
This is Awuja from Nekede.
Awuja, carry go.
You see, for WIKE's age, is it a maker? To have entered the server of INEC means that they have been doing all this type of things before, unknown to us. But God has exposed them with this now.
Well,
and you know that
remember, it's allegedly, of course.
Yes, allegedly, but no smoke without fire. Then, and this is exactly the type of job we know WIKE knows very well. And is transferring it to other people. And this is corrupting other Nigerians.
All right.
So what I'm saying in effect is that let that person let him be arrested immediately. Then for him to prove exactly how he manipulated the INEC data, which INEC, even INEC, not every INEC staff should know that. There are some people designated purely for that. So that person should be arrested and let him explain to Nigerians and to the whole world how he penetrated into that camp. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much, Awuja. Good morning to you.
Mr. Barry, good morning, my brother.
I greet you. Welcome aboard.
Welcome, sir. No, this is Link calling from Okurata in Owerri, North local government.
All right, carry go.
Thank you. I just want to make one of the paper you read that about people say spend money in that approval.
Okay.
Mr. Barry, I don't want anybody to surprise in Imo State. And the one that pay me pass, when people say that the judiciary, they don't do anything. Let me tell you, that's why our governors, they don't want the proper person to be the chief judge of any state. They want someone that will be remote. I'm telling you, come to this our state, this Imo State now. The main person that supposed to be there is there now, but they are refused to confirm her.
Okay.
But the one that are not supposed to be there, it's not even take two weeks. They confirm the other one. Because they know that the one they are there now, this one they are there, he can't over a dead body, accept any corruption, and everybody are afraid of her. That is a very truth and straightforward person. I'm a senior brother, my senior brother, a senior lawyer. I hear everything about judiciary. Go to judiciary. You know that the Imo State judiciary chief judge, you do have office. You do have office. Find out. You people can go there. The office already collapsed, has nothing inside. The chief judge and just manage under CR office of the state. I'm telling you, find out. That's why this our governor, our politicians, they are very wicked. I know that one day God will deliver us from the hand. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, let's take another caller. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Larry.
I greet you.
This is Evangelist Sabara.
Okay.
Thank you. God bless you for the clear information that you are giving to us.
Thank you.
And then we know that you cannot do anything. That information.
Yeah, my brother.
When in Egypt, in those days, when Pharaoh thought that there's nothing like God, that is the second God given to the Israelites. At the day God will remember Nigeria, things will turn around for our good. Let the politicians continue to do whatever they are doing. We live our life to God. Thank you, Bab.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning once more, Mr. Cosmos.
Yeah, welcome back, Amma.
Yes, this is Ahmad Akos from WIKE Street in Owerri. Mr. Cosmos, what this administration can do to win 2027 presidential election does not exist. But God will continue to expose them.
All right.
So that Nigeria and outside world will hear and see.
Okay.
So that is my take. And recently, some APC members defected from their party to all these major opposition parties, like APC and NDC. And now they are back to APC. In my own thinking, I think that that was they defected to those parties just as spies.
Okay.
And they have come back to give feedback to their party APC. It's one of those strategies of rigging the election.
All right.
All their strategies of rigging are coming out now.
All right.
And it's an eye-opener to Nigerians so that they can get ready. Thank you. I'm from WIKE Street.
Thank you very much. One more call before we go to the messages. Good morning.
Hello, Barry Cosmas. Good morning to you.
Chief Jude Ugbaja. Good morning to you.
Let's have my own blessings, my own greetings too.
All right.
Well, Barry, it's unfortunate the expenditure, budgetary expenditure from some of the MDAs in Imo State. Well, but you see, as a layman and somebody who actually observes what is happening in our economy, I'm not surprised. But you will agree with me that the price of almost every good and service in the country has skyrocketed beyond the affordability of the common man, let alone ministries, let alone NDAs and things like that. So I believe that they may be responsible for this. And I do not want us to begin to cry wolf where there is none. We have a state.
Hold on, I don't understand what you mean. I don't understand what you mean by that. Can you explain yourself? You say we shouldn't do what She shouldn't cry over money that was spent was not appropriated.
Yeah, if there is any institution that should worry so much about, I think it's the Imo State House of Assembly. And insofar as they've not raised any eyebrows, let us wait until we see what will happen.
So what you're saying is that if Imo State money, public money is spent, the only people who have to raise eyebrow is Imo State House of Assembly. Is that what you're saying?
So what I'm saying is that we have, at least individually and collectively, we have representatives, from all the local government areas.
So because the representatives have not said a thing, we should not talk about it? Is that what you're saying?
Wouldn't that be, one becoming faster than his shadows? I think we should allow them, because they are the people that made this budgetary appropriation. And in the event that they have been exceeded, I think we should hold them responsible. Or possibly because we are not in a democratic system of government. Anybody who feels like, including you, Barry, my good friend, you can go to court and challenge them.
Wait, hold on, Chief. There are certain things when we talk about, we want to enlighten and educate people. I hope you are aware of what the law says, that if you spend money in government that was not appropriated, it's a crime. I hope you know that. So what you're saying, if somebody commits a crime because they are there, we shouldn't say a damn thing? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is, even if we cry, even if we say it for now till next year, and it ends there, it doesn't make any difference. What I think matters is that at least you and I that knows that even, or that feels that what has been done is not appropriate, we'll go to court and challenge them. Or we'll complain to our representative in the House of Assembly and force them into doing something. But as an individual, and as a citizen of Imo State that has actually known the economic conditions of this country so far, including that prevalent in Imo State, I think the cost of almost every good and service in the country has soared beyond the affordability of the common man, let alone MDAs in Imo State. And I want to believe that this might be a possible explanation to this. So let us not be faster than our shadows. But what I want to advise you, please, if you have enough money, go to court and challenge them, whichever minister.
All right, thank you.
Why don't you allow me to talk on that aspect?
No. You've taken enough time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. It's kind of very funny and strange to hear Chief Jude say that, but definitely not surprising anyway. But at the end of the day, we are taking a look at certain things that should never happen, but it's allowed to happen. And when you hear comments like this, you begin to wonder, okay, so anybody in government can just do whatever the hell they like, because you that is not in government have no say. You are not even supposed to complain. Even if they eat all your money, use it anyhow, you don't have a right to complain, because even if you complain, nothing will happen. That's exactly the implication of what Chief Jude just said. Too bad. Good morning.
Well, good morning, Barry.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very grateful to God that you granted me access today. Because your line is too hot.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Honestly speaking, it's totally too disheartening to hear some of our people.
Remind us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, this is Oroman. I'm calling from Owerri Municipal here.
All right, thank you very much, Oroman.
It is actually disheartening to note the way our people talk here. You want to tell me that, an individual can never hold a government officials, accountable for the way they recklessly spend their taxpayers' money. It is very, very awkward. This is actually likened to the way our professors, revered professors, go there to rig elections for stark illiterates. Only for stark illiterates to turn around, to turn the other way around and start owing them their salaries, even no increment. It is very, very bad. You say we shouldn't call names or we shouldn't malign personalities, but it's highly ridiculous the way some of our personalities we have in Imo State, when they come on air and they talk around, it is too bad, So please, it is good. We give kudos to people when they raise when they raise question marks on certain conducts by government officials. It's actually too bad. And for the media head to WIKE, who actually exposed the manner in which certain things that are domiciled in INEC server are being released to the public. It is actually really bad. Right. We need to ask INEC how these things are happening.
Thank you very much. All right, so the message is now, Dr. Mrs. Olebara from Owerri. What serious efforts are being made to rescue these innocent children and teachers still in captivity? People now live in constant fear and families traumatized. Why can't NUT, Nationwide Labor and Trade Unions organize indefinite strike till these children are released? We cannot continue having innocent children bear the burden of the nation's failures. My soul is in misery and my heart bleeds. All right, thank you very much. That's a message according to Dr. Mrs. Olebara. We have this one from Engineer Buka, texting from Futo. He says, INEC excesses in Nigeria during and after elections constitute the introduction of an incompatible refrigerant into a critical air conditioning and refrigeration system. The result is an immediate reduction in the coefficient of performance, that is COP, disruption of the refrigeration cycle, unstable pressure-temperature relationships, and inefficient heat extraction from the systems. Rather than operating within the principles of thermodynamic balance, the electoral process experiences excessive entropy, energy dissipation, and system inefficiencies. The democratic compressor is forced to work under abnormal loads, generating unnecessary heat and accelerating wear on the nation's institutional components. From an environmental science standpoint, such excesses increase the concentration of political pollutants within the democratic atmosphere. The electoral ecosystem becomes exposed to contamination, resulting in a gradual depletion of public trust. Much like ozone depletion weakens the Earth's natural protective layer, the accumulation of these pollutants raises the political global warming potential, GWP, intensifying social tension and environmental instability within the governance structure. A properly designed refrigeration system depends on the purity of its refrigerants, accurate control mechanisms, and strict compliance with operational standards. Likewise, Nigeria's democratic system requires transparency, accountability, and adherence to electoral laws. When excesses infiltrate the process, they function as non-condensable gases trapped within the circuit, reducing efficiency, increasing system pressure, and threatening the sustainability of the entire democratic environment. This is from Engineer Ebuka, texting from Fulto. We also have this and says, good morning, my eloquent and majestic Barry Corsi. The killings and kidnapping cases across the country are increasing by the day. Now, we hear bandits have adopted 30 in Kogi and kidnapped worshippers, killed and kidnapped people in Plateau again. The fact is that Nigerians are so resilient and docile, and the government is riding on these, especially on the part of the NLC, NUT, and other pressure groups to deal with the people. This can only happen in Nigeria. Sectional protests cannot help us. There should be a general protest to express our anger. Facts about elections should be suspended forthwith. Save lives first. As in Lady Julina CK sent in that one. This other message says, good morning, Barry. My name is Felix Nwozo. Texting from my humble community, Umuahimberry. Barry, the bitter truth is that INEC is not ready for the forthcoming elections as long as our children and our teachers are still in the captivity of the terrorists and bandits, and some of them have been beheaded. Barry, almost every sector in this country have been beheaded. Barry, I'm trying to see within waiting get ahead in this country, but I know see. So therefore, I'm totally in support of the teachers and protests until everybody that is kidnapped in the kidnappers' den are released and securities in the entire country are taken care of. Let everybody join the protest because everybody have right to be protected in this country. We cannot be calm or fold our arms while our brothers and sisters, children and students and pupils are being killed on a daily basis by the heartless and blood-sucking terrorists and bandits. But my heart is bleeding now. Chai, my country and our leaders. So sad and quite unfortunate. Thanks, and enjoy your day ahead if the terrorists and bandits will allow you to do so. Thank you very much, my brother Ejim Konye. INEC, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria is now very worrisome. I watched Oyo school children pictures yesterday, where some children lying down, while some of the they have big marks on their bodies as a result of being tortured. I nearly shed tears while watching these pictures, and no human being with his or her conscience will watch the pictures and be happy with this government and the way they feel reluctant to these children who are seen hell in the hands of these heartless abductors. And he says the issue of insecurity in Nigeria is now very worrisome, and that government of the day totally lack of ideology to tackle insecurity. And the most annoying about this insecurity is seeing government pardoning terrorists and bandits that are being apprehended by security agencies and call them repentant terrorists. If government continue pardoning terrorists, kidnapping and killings will not stop in this Nigeria until government stop threatening them with kid gloves. I watched all your school children pictures yesterday, and I almost shed tears. All right, thank you very much. This one is from, it says, Barrio, happy morning. APC from FG to state government have captured Nigeria hands. They spend our common resources as they like. So budget management abuse is the order of the day. That is why their major concern is how to snatch the ballot boxes, grab the results, and run with it. There is no accountability and financial discipline. That's what you get when Alibaba and 40 thieves are in charge. The People's Elder sent in that one. All right, let's go back to the phone lines after this message. It says, good morning, Barry Cosmos, on radio. The continued incarceration of school children in Oyo State and consequent nonchalant attitude of the present government is condemnable. How big are the forests in Nigeria that kidnapped victims cannot be rescued by the military and police? The president and his defense officials are preoccupied by the recruitment of forest guards. This is laughable and unfortunate. This goes to authenticate the suspicion that government hand is in the insecurity, kidnapping, and terrorism taking place in the country. May God help us. Ngaka Anthony, Christchurch Road, over there, sent in that message. Anyways, let's get back to the message. Good morning. Are you really kidding me? Are you kidding me? Good morning. Who dey?
Hey, okay.
Good morning. Welcome aboard. Hello.
Hello, Agabare. I want to add over the topic of misappropriation of funds here.
All right, good. Now, it is not misappropriation of fund. It is spending without appropriation. There are two different things, all right? Nobody said they stole the money. They used the money that was not appropriated. You got to understand the difference.
But from all you have said so far, I don't see any impact those expenditure have on the human life. You can see when you move around, you will see many schools very dilapidated. I can give you one instance. Do you know town school at Inyogugu? If you are passing along that Soma Expressway. So I don't see why all those money will be spent and they have no impact. Somebody will budget 1,000 and spend 10,000, and he cannot see where those money went to. And they have our assembler there keeping quiet because maybe they have taken their own share. If not, by now, query should be given.
All right.
And you see, in this country, our little children are in the bush with the terrorists and the kidnappers.
Okay.
And the president and APC are campaigning for 2007. To tell you, we have an irresponsible president.
All right. Thank you.
This thing cannot happen in the Western world.
Thank you very much,
we
my brother.
have very bad leadership in this country. He should resign from that office. He's very incompetent to be a commander-in-chief of this country.
Thank
he
you.
Should resign.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, my brother. Barry Guru, good morning. What else is making WIKE tick? If not all the shenanigans. I told you INEC is an arm of APC/BAT. That is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And they are criminally doing everything possible for 2027 elections to fail. So they can snatch, grab their loots and run away. But I can assure you that they can only run, but they can't hide. That is coming from the People's Elder, Elder Chijoke. Thank you very much. We also have this one says, Good morning, Barry. Mazo Odenigbo, Ifeanyi Chukwu Iwu from Ekenegbo. Are you perplexed? No, I'm not. When this administration of Opposite leave office, you will hear the worst. Our legislators are the worst in Nigeria. No wonder they were tagged Hallelujah boys who wear white and red cap to chant the governor's praise. I've said before, government no day Imo State. I took my leave. Anyway, there is government in Imo State, my brother, and the government is led by Governor Hope Uzodinma. Now, let's make this clear. This is not an indictment to people that they stole money. No, it is not. They spent money that was not approved or captured in the budget. Now, well, you can call that money spent without authorization. So should they refund the money or should it be? But the people who are supposed to checkmate this also spent without appropriation. So who will check who? What we need to do, we have done our job to make it public. The rest is left for them to take action or probably write to the state. What's the big deal? If you are spending money, if the money allocated is not enough, the right and correct thing to do is to do what? Supplementary budget. Make it approved, and then you can spend it legally. So why go ahead to spend money? That is complete blatant disregard for the rule of law. And that is what really, really is bad about that. So good afternoon, my beautiful people. For here, we have light, road clear, so many advice. All right, that's not for me. We're not discussing anything about that today, this morning. Okay. Hello, good morning. This is Trust from Owerri. On the Lere Olayinka matter, Constitution Section 37 protects the privacy of personal data like INEC voter transfer information. Section 39 on freedom of speech does not cover the unauthorized release of confidential government records. The Data Protection Act and Cybercrimes Act also have serious implications. There is public interest in questioning a parachute candidate, but publishing internal screenshot crosses the line. INEC should investigate. Thank you very much. And this one says, good morning, the Guru One on radio. I'm not surprised to hear your controversial caller say what he said. Birds of a feather flock together. As the saying goes, on the leakage from INEC, God will keep exposing them and they will continue to do their mistakes until they are out of office after election. As for the personnel involved, he would be arrested because of the people involved. Niger democracy. He said he won't be arrested because of the people involved. Niger democracy is turned into a crazy state. Prince Michael from E-Rate. All right, let's just take a Facebook message. Destiny Harrison says on Facebook, says, good morning, Ogabari. When I saw the post and read the web address, I saw that the address is from cvr.admin, simply showing he is either an admin in the portal, has an access to the admin URL, or has hacked ethically or otherwise into the admin back end. INEC portal is assumed to be encrypted and has HTTPS host. He really has questions to answer. That is from Destiny. Emeka Dinkpa says, good morning to you, Comrade Dinkpa Emeka from Umualumako in a Himen Bano, LGA Barrio. The problem in this country called Nigeria, as is that it stands for now, is INEC, Judiciary and Securities. If not, why will an appointee to the Minister of FCT WIKE will have access to INEC portal? Not now. I know why WIKE is doing what he's doing, and no one is questioning his actions. Barrio, what this APC government cannot do doesn't exist. But we're one on Radio The Marshal, Okenze of Echo FM. Have a wonderful working day. Thank you. Onyeka Onyewegu says, Sabari, good morning. How are you today? Please, where is Lady Ekoma? Lady Ekoma is on an extended leave. She's not going to be back for a while. So everybody just allow her to go chill a little bit. So Peter Don Peter says, good morning, Mr. Barry Cosmos. APC are trying means of rigging this election come 2027 from sharing rights, borrowing money. Shares now is to log into INEC server through PDAPC, somebody's social media. All right, that is the much we can take on this program, everybody. Thank you all for being here. And some August visitor just stepped into our guest now, our studio right about now. We have to switch gears. Thank you all for being part of our Straight Talk this morning. I hope you are informed and enlightened this morning. And of course, for those of you who want to say one or two things that are very, very derogatory, please hold your peace. Don't say it. It's not ethical on air. Okay. Now we have a guest here in the studio, Dr. Vigo. Good morning and welcome to Echo FM. Once again, Dr. Vigo, this is the way they crash my program today.
Good morning. We want to make your life amazing. Because
okay.
Dr. Vigo makes lives amazing.
Okay. Now you and SM, una plan this school this morning. All right, what do you have for us this morning?
Thank you very much. It's still part of our corporate social responsibility to ensure